This was my first experience raising toad tadpoles from a pair of toads that had been singing in my pond in April of 2025.
Okay, this is Mr. or Mrs. Toady. I'm not sure, one of two. Mr. Toady. Mr. Toady. Mr. Toady.
These are frog eggs, which are laid in a mass. Tadpole eggs look similar, but they are laid in strings. I brought the tadpoles in on April 21st, almost ready to hatch, and by the 24th, they were full-fledged tadpoles. The female toad had laid many strings of eggs, and even though I only brought in one string, I still had way too many tadpoles to keep. I only ended up keeping 9 tadpoles. By April 30th, the tadpoles were growing nice and fat, eating algae from the side of the container and little bits of lettuce and spinach that I boiled for them and fed them. On May 9th, I selected 9 tadpoles out of the larger group that I had, let our grandkids pick out a few for themselves to raise, and then put the rest back in my pond. This is Friday, May 16th. The toad tadpoles are just getting little tiny legs. Eating their spinach and lettuce. On May 20th, since it had been a month since they had hatched and they were getting their back legs, I gave them some bloodworms to add to their vegetarian diet. With their back legs growing larger, I thought that they would be more interested in eating a carnivorous diet, but they really didn't seem all that interested in the bloodworms. A few of the tadpoles tried to gum them every now and then, but most of them continued eating the spinach, lettuce, and algae. By the 28th of May, their back legs were growing quite a bit larger and becoming more developed. By May 30th, which was just 2 days later, several of the tadpoles had developed their front legs as well. They were all becoming little toadlets. Even though I continued to feed them bloodworms, they were still more interested in eating the lettuce and spinach than the worms. I don't know why. On June 2nd, I changed their water and gave them a rock, thinking that if they got all 4 of their legs, they may want to get themselves out of the water a little bit and breathe some air. They seemed to like the rock, as some of them hung out on top of it and others hid underneath it as a means of protection. By the evening of June 2nd, everything seemed to be going well, and this little toadlet was even on top of the rock. The next day, on June 3rd, I was very happy to see them all appearing very healthy with all 4 of their legs, and I was contemplating when I should begin releasing them. Unfortunately, on the night of June 3rd, one of the tadpoles had expired, but all the other ones were looking healthy, so I wasn't too concerned.
This is June 4th, 2025, 6 weeks from when these toad tadpoles hatched. Most of them still have their tails, even though they have all their legs. They still have really long tails, except for this guy. This guy here has lost his tail. I think he's just about ready to be released. A little tiny toadlet. It's little tiny. Here's my finger. How tiny he is. He's so tiny. Here's my magnifying glass. He's so tiny. He's just a little tiny toadlet. Perfectly formed, just teeny tiny.
These videos and pictures were taken about 2:30 in the afternoon on June the 4th. Everything seemed to be going along well, but by 9 o'clock that night, 2 more of the toadlets were dead.
I decided to let the rest of them go because 2 of them were dying. 2 of them died in one day, so I don't know what's wrong. So I'm just going to let them go in my stream while they're still alive. So, okay. They got their tails, they got their legs, so I'll let them go in the stream. They're in my pond. Okay, here we go. I'm going to release them. Okay, here's one. Bye! Okay, here we are. may be giving the frogs food. I don't know. Oh, come here. Okay. Bye.